Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, in the last episode where I was talking about bullying, whatchamacallit, online schooling, homeschooling, regular schools, originally I was going to do an episode talking on Just a Robot and how he's trying to come up with excuses for his upbringing and why he or not so much his upbringing, but he's trying to use his upbringing as an excuse and then trying to say that that's why he's the person that he is today. When you eliminate just the unnecessary amounts of just things that he's saying, it's like, and you piece it together, then it's like, oh, that's what you're trying to say. Okay, cool. So here's the thing though, because I feel like that there's going to be two ways of looking at this. There's going to be the way of looking at this like, yeah, he did say that, and then him going to his good old reliable, that's not what I meant. And I'm like, hey, look, you know what? You said what you said. I'm going to pretty much pick it apart for the sake of this episode because I want people to know and to understand that just because you was homeschooled, just because you lack when it comes to being like, a social person, that doesn't mean that you gotta be some evil-minded person when it comes down to being on the internet. That's the part that trips me out, is that there are probably so many different people on the internet that's been homeschooled. Whether it was like some form of online schooling or they had somebody show up to their house and school them, whatever the case may be. But my thing is this. There should be no excuses on why you act the way that you do online. And I really wanted to just pick that apart for the sake of this episode because, yeah, I have been seeing some videos, more so reacting to some videos that he's made on me. And yeah, it's just, man, I watch those videos and I'm like, bro, you really had that much hatred in your heart towards me over something so silly. That's the part that trips me out about me and Just a Robot situation, was that this all, and this is something that I've been saying for the longest, this is all because of some reaction videos. Or no, not even that. Me defending people that do reaction videos. And that upset him so much to where he felt that it needed to be some 9-year long well, it was more so 8 years. He hasn't really said nothing about me recently and stuff. But I am curious. I know that is something that a lot of people are probably waiting to see. What is this TMossBoss video going to be about? And that's the thing where I'm like, look, bruh, you can make a video about me. At the end of the day, that's all I'm gonna say about it, is that, but at least I did defend a pedophile. So it's like, when you sit down and really think about that, it's like, what's worse? Me being me or you defending a pedophile? And that's something that I wanted to talk on too. I'll probably save that for another episode, where it was because of my attitude. Like, it was always something different. First, it was because I defended people that do reaction videos. Then it's because I have an attitude. Then it's because I this, and then it's that. I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, I'm my own person, bruh. But that's the thing. Like, I don't have to worry about me being who I am on the internet. You, on the other hand, it's like, fam, every time, and I have to say, like, recently with all the different interviews and stuff that's been coming out, it just seems like that you don't know how to handle, I guess, like a negative crowd. And I'm like, fam, I know people, a lot of people will probably be like, oh, well, how should he? Like, he did that to you. I ain't giving him no advice on that. He's just gonna have to figure it out on his own. But no. Let's get back to this, because I'm gonna mess around and do the same thing I did with the last episode. Get distracted and get to talking about other stuff. But no, I wanted to overall talk on that because my thing is this. I guess that would be my question to him. What happened during your homeschooling experience to where it led you into the person that you are today? Because just talking on the one friend, I think I did mention that a little bit, but yeah, there was a friend that she at one point in time did go to public schools. And from what I heard, I don't know if it was true or not, but from what I heard, she did deal with some bullying. And yeah, that's why she ended up having to do the homeschooling stuff. But that was the thing though, like, her now, she's not this evil-minded person. Like, that she was actually somebody that I was, cause I was cool with her. Like, me and her, I remember we would walk home. I think the only time I remember like remotely, like the last, because it was like what, the last time we had a conversation, no, that's what it was, she was scared of birds. And I'm like, fam, I don't know if you seen a movie or you had a bad experience, but I'm like, that kid, like, no, there was, I'll never forget that. There was a day, maybe, I don't know, I'm like, maybe, maybe I was a factor in that, but I'm like, look, when you scream and scare me in the process, and you did that because of some birds, I'm like, fam, do you not realize we live on a planet where there's a lot of different birds? You got parrots, you got crows, you got pigeons, you got them small birds that fly around real fast. I don't know the name of them, but I'm like, fam, we are literally surrounded by birds. Now, I don't know if she still has that issue now, but yeah, I was like, yeah, there was a day I remember we were walking home. She just screamed as loud as she possibly could, and it was because of some birds that were like 100 yards away from us, and I'm like, fam, them birds are nowhere near us. If anything, it wasn't even really bullying. It was like, fam, I was getting on her because I'm like, do not scream like that no more, because I thought we were all gonna die. And this is all because of some crows that are more scared of us than us being scared of them. I'm like, fam, come on now. But anyways, no, she had but no, I remember that at one point in time, jokes aside, that she did end up getting out of cuz this was at in high school. But no, it's like I think we haven't really talked recently, but I have been following her on social media, and unless she's living a double life, I'm like, fam, from what I've seen, it looked like she got a normal life going on, you know? So that's why I'm like, you know, that homeschooling stuff, I don't think that that's a legitimate experience, you know, because there was kids I even went to school with that weren't like, you know, I guess, I don't know, like they wasn't really, yeah, I guess like they was not so much as like socially awkward, but more so like they wasn't really all that social unless you start up, because I just remember the one kid where I'm like, yeah, he definitely got like some just a robot tendencies and stuff, and yeah, he was the weird kid too, but overall, though, I'm like, he went to public schools. I think that just overall has a lot to do with the person's character, and it could have a lot to do with who their parents are, or just overall who their whole family is. But that's where I feel like where that more so falls into place. It's either that or you just grew up around the wrong crowd. Because I have seen that too. I have seen where people have grown up around the wrong crowd and they don't want to call those people out. But I'm like, fam, at times you're going to have to call those people out, especially right now as you're going through the stuff that you're going through. Because here's the thing. Don't nobody just get born into this world acting the way just a robot does. I refuse to believe that. There is not one single person that has grown up. There has been something that has led to this just weirdness that they got going on, you know? Because for an example, Jeffrey Dahmer, he wasn't this like that. Well, I mean, he was, I wouldn't, because how they portrayed it in the show, like he was weird, but then as he got older, then his dad got him into what was it, being a taxidermy, where it was like you stuff animals like after they done died and things. Like I think he was doing that, but then he just had like a weird mindset with it and stuff. But I'm like, that's something too where I'm like, you know, just even get on the parents. I'm like, that's why you gotta really be there for your kids, because I'm like, your kids grow up to be somebody like just a robot. And that's something where I'm like, I know people would probably ask, like, what would I do if I was raising a kid and they were kind of showing off them signs of like, you know, acting like just a robot? I'm nipping that in the butt right then and there. I'm like, you will not grow up to be like that under any circumstances whatsoever. And I'm like, just a robot can take that as disrespect, but I'm like, hey, I'm just speaking facts. You are not going to amount to nothing in life if you go and carry on the way and the funny thing is, because I feel like he would take disrespect to that, and I'm like, fam, you've lost jobs, okay? You don't know how to manage your content creating career unless you got people side by side working with you and stuff. You know, I'm trying to think of some other things. It's like you can't go out in public because you're afraid that a teenager is like, what, going to not even so much as lead him on. Like, that was even one thing I'd like. And you mean to tell me homeschool? Like, what does homeschooling overall teach you? Like, what do you overall learn in homeschooling where you can't be at a pool because if a 16-year-old girl, 17-year-old girl shows up, what, you're gonna like be weird or whatever he was trying to, I think we all know what he was trying to say when he was talking on that. But I'm like, fam, how does homeschooling, how does that overall get you to that mindset? Where I'm like, fam, the thing is this. It's like, yeah, be socially awkward, but also be socially aware of your surroundings and how things are and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Overall saying, know the rights from, and know your wrongs. But it seems like he was trying to mix that in where it's like wrong is right and right is wrong. And I'm like, fam, there is no way possible you have made it. What I would say, he's like 30 years old now. Like I don't know. Like he's either almost 30 or he is 30. But regardless, it's like, fam, you're in your like late adult years. Like you're almost at that point where it's like you're middle age. Like give it another decade, yeah, you're gonna be in that middle age range. Do you see yourself still carrying on the way that you are right now? I'm saying, like, because there really isn't that much of a difference from how he was when I very first came across him almost 10 years ago, and it seems like that you haven't changed. And that's the part that really trips me out, where I'm like, fam, if homeschooling does that to a person, I know. I'm telling you right now, if I gotta do some stuff like how the mom and the dad did in Everybody Hates Chris, where I gotta send my kid to a school across town, so be it. But I'm like there, and that's one thing where I'm all like, because I'm like, I remember when I was in school, I was very social. I was a class clown. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you guys. I was a class clown. I was doing any and everything's in my power to make the class laugh, because I'm like, the classes that I had, they were boring. So I'm like, I am gonna have to say something. I'm gonna have to do something. If that means that I'm gonna get sent outside, I never did get sent to the office. I'm like, well, no, actually, no, wait a minute. No, because the detention room was in the office, but I got sent to the detention room. That was because I didn't have my, it was my, what was it again? It was something for history class, but I didn't have it out on my desk. And so the teacher was like, he just walked in and just was, yeah, that teacher, he was kind of weird. I was like, he was a football coach too, but yeah, he had like a serious anger issue. And I'm like, fam, relax. It's not that deep. You're a teacher. Like, relax, bro. Like, you're not going to know me after a couple of years. Calm down. So, but anyways, yeah, I think he had like that coach mentality everywhere, and I'm like, bro, you ain't even gotta carry on like that. But anyways, but I'm like, yeah, with this homeschooling stuff, and maybe that's not the reason with just a robot carrying on the way he is. Maybe it's because of something else. I'm like, whatever it is, fam, you cannot use that as an excuse for how you are today and how you were years ago when I very first came across you. I'm saying, like, when you sit down and think about it, roles reverse, you do a video defending whatever it is that you want to defend, but it's with good intentions though. Like, it ain't like this Cinebear stuff. Like, let's say you wanted to, let's say it was commentary channels that were getting hated on, and you decide to do a video where you're defending commentary channels like I guess I Hate Everything's in grade A under A, they would be considered commentary channels, right? But no, anyways, you do a video where you're defending those guys, and I do a video going after you for defending those guys. How would you have responded to that? Because it wouldn't have been no different than what I did. So I'm saying, it's like when you sit down and you think about it, you getting on me because, like, even if we're going all the way back then, but it's like even now you still got like this random issue with me and stuff, and I'm like, I don't believe that it was like, oh, it's just because that's something that he's said in videos, that I'm his personal locale. That's something that I had just recently heard. I didn't even like, I gotta see like the actual definition, because people say things and I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? But I guess it's like, hold on for a second, locale. Oh, there's a Wikipedia page for, no, there's not no Wiki. Why would they have a Wikipedia page? But there's, okay. Anyways, let's see what, does Urban Dictionary got there we go. All right, so here we go. Urban Dictionary. A person or group of people laughed at for actions that they take despite not trying to be funny. They may try to take themselves seriously, but are often milked for laughs with or without their knowledge. Oh, so that's what that means. Okay, so me being, and I don't know. The thing is that I never really considered myself being serious or taking this situation serious. Like, I knew it was because, like, oh, you have this weird personal hatred towards me. But I'm just saying though, when you sit down and think about it, it's like, what do you think sounds more reasonable or more not reasonable, but logical. You know, me being your personal locale where I didn't even want to be bothered with you in the first place. Like, you go back on all them different types of videos that you made about me, you could tell that I didn't want to be bothered. Just by the tone of my voice, I didn't want to be bothered. You know, and then when you sit down, you try to say like, oh, he's my personal lolcow. No, bruh, you have this weird hatred towards me. It's okay to admit it. I'm not gonna look at you any differently than I did before. But I'm just saying, though, at the end of the day, it's like, look, not even if it's just excluding me out the list, like, still, there's a whole list of things that you've done where it's like, fam, what's the problem? Like, really, I do not believe that, it was my upbringing, it was me being homeschooled, it was me being, like, there was this one, so, because he has, like, a Wikipedia thing, right? And I'm like, hold on, because I wonder if I could still find it. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So, there was, something, they was like, they had added they changed it, because they added the, VidCon. Oh, they added that, and they didn't change it, or they added where he defended Cinnabare. There's like enough said with that, but no, they had they added the VidCon incidents. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, it needed to be added, but I wonder, does it say where there was like he said something to somebody and they snapped at him? There's like, he described easily one example one example was when a college student went to pick up his sister and Just a Robot told him to say hi for her. The student proceeded to become enraged and had a meltdown. Just a Robot used to believe that he accidentally might have tried to hit on her. And that's the thing where I'm like, he said, and I just remember reading that, and I'm like, there has to be more to that. There ain't no way possible, because my thing is this, so it sounds like that, so the kid was picking up his own sister, and Just a Robot was saying like, oh, say hi to her for me, allegedly. But I personally think that he said something more than that. It wasn't I don't know. We would have to see, because there's always going to be two sides to a story, so I definitely would have to hear from that guy's side. Like, what did he say for you to get enraged? Because my thing is this, right? If somebody is like, oh, tell such and such I said hi, whether they're talking about my sibling or somebody in my family or a friend, whoever, I'm like, okay, cool, if they're saying that. But what sense does that make and that's why I'm like, just because that's what I feel like that's something that I'm probably going to say for the next episode. Just a Robot's a liar. He's a flat out liar. I'm going to end it off talking on this whole situation that I was reading about on this Wikipedia page, but I think that's what the next episode is going to be about, talking about him lying, because I'm like, yeah, he done lied about some stuff where I'm like, bro, that's not the truth. But anyways, but I'm like, what did you overall say to where it got this person enraged, to where it got them, and then you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, maybe I was trying to hit. He had to have said something. And that's why I'm like, that's why I think this next episode has to be about him being a liar, because he just has a way of telling stories where it's like, bro, that ain't the truth, So, but anyways, with that being said, I would talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.